Hello fine people, I'm Isaac Carlson, and today we need to break down the big twist, the ending, and the final after credit scene in Buzz Lightyear's theatrical debut. Let's talk about Lightyear. And of course, if you're new here and you'd like to see more magical videos like this one, consider subscribing. Oh, and fellow Space Rangers, protocol dictates I inform you that there are spoilers ahead. First off, I'd like to say I really did enjoy Lightyear, and the more I see it, the more I enjoy it. I went and saw it on Wednesday, the day before it officially released for the Andy experience, and I got this cool poster, so that was really exciting and fun, and I got to see it at Walt Disney World, so I was really excited. I do have some issues that I will discuss, but overall, now that I've seen it multiple times, I'm really optimistic about the future of this franchise. Now, at the end of Lightyear, I do have to say that there are a ton of similarities I noticed between this new movie and Buzz Lightyear's original direct-to-video animated film, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins. In both stories, Buzz loses a fellow Space Ranger who is his best friend towards the beginning of the film, which closes Buzz off. But when the threat of Zurg looms over him, he's forced to team up with a bunch of wannabe rookie Space Rangers who he resents at first, until he realizes he needs them all to save Star Command from Zurg. And after they come out victorious, Buzz chooses that team to accompany him on many more adventures. There's a lot of differences when it comes to who Buzz is at the beginning of the story. His team is composed of different characters, and Zurg's evil plans and motivations are completely unique. But Buzz Lightyear of Star Command definitely loomed in the back of my mind throughout Lightyear. But diving into Lightyear itself, I think there's no better place to start than by discussing the fate of Buzz Lightyear himself. After the invasion of Zurg and the realization there is sentient life with advanced technology across the universe, Commander Burnside has granted Buzz the task to re-establish the Space Ranger Corps on Tikani Prime. The Universe Protection Unit that Buzz referenced in Toy Story is set to be built by Buzz Lightyear, which totally makes sense since he was the only person alive who was trained as a cadet in the Space Ranger Academy back on Earth.
Years of academy training wasted.
Plus, we learn from Izzy that he's also a decorated veteran.
Didn't you get a medal for that one?
2, actually.
And the number 2 on the back of his original Space Ranger suit indicates that as a captain, he was only second by rank to Commander Alicia Hawthorne when they first arrived to the planet. Buzz was built to rebuild Star Command, and I'm so happy Commander Burnside gave him the opportunity because they need his expertise. And one way Buzz has already provided insight as a new leader of Star Command has actually been in the design of the standard Space Ranger suits. At first, I was really confused as to why Buzz's suit was so limited throughout Lightyear, but on my second watch, I noticed that Alicia mentioned to Buzz that he had called their mothership a turnip in their design meetings. And then throughout Lightyear, we're shown Buzz discovering useful tools like a laser strapped to his wrist and a jetpack on his back. And since these iconic and extremely useful pieces of equipment were then built into the next iteration of the Space Ranger suit, I think this means Buzz got to sit in on those design meetings too. Maybe eventually they'll also add a utility belt with anti-gravity capabilities, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I could use one of those.
Also, since we're talking about the Space Ranger suits, a fun thing to note is that in Toy Story, Buzz explains that his suit is made out of a
Beryllium carbonic alloy, and I can fly.
No, you can't.
And when Buzz's team in Lightyear goes into a mining facility, they go into a beryllium mine. They were in the location that was collecting materials that would be used to build new Space Ranger suits. But why would the people of Tikani Prime need to create their own Space Ranger Corps when the organization already existed on Earth? That was going through my head a lot until my second watch of Lightyear. I realized that now that the Turnip's crew is 4.2 million light years away from their homeworld, Earth is just too far away in every meaning of the phrase to be of any help to them. I mean, at their current location, even if the citizens of Tikani Prime tried to send a wireless message at the speed of light to Earth, it would take a minimum of 4.2 million years to reach them. And even if Star Command was still around after all those years and they were interested in sending help, a crew traveling at hyperspeed wouldn't be able to arrive for another 4.2 million years. But beyond the distance between Tikani Prime and Earth, there's also the more important reality that the crew of the Turnip is incredibly far removed in time from the Earth they left behind. When Buzz traveled at hyperspeed for 4 minutes, 22 years went by on Tikani Prime, but the Turnip traveled for 4.2 million years at that speed, while the crew remained in hypersleep.
You're in direct violation of Code
6404.5, stating all Space Rangers are to be in hypersleep until awakened by authorized personnel.
So the Earth Buzz and Alicia left behind evolved for millions upon millions of years on their exploratory mission prior to them even being trapped on Takani Prime. And that means Buzz's mission to return his crew back to Earth was always going to be meaningless and futile because the Earth they'd return to would be completely unrecognizable to them. Everyone and everything they knew about their lives on Earth would have been destroyed long before they set a course back to their homeworld. But neither Buzz or Zurg really acknowledged that fact. The colony on Takani Prime is the last remnant of the times that existed while they lived on Earth, unless there were other turn-ups sent throughout the universe around the same time as them. But for now, they are on their own. Regardless of the dangers, the colony has declared the planet they crashed on will remain their home, and they're truly ready to defend it, so of course they're building a team of Space Rangers. And that's especially needed since Sox's instructions on how to build hyperspeed crystals and Buzz's hyperspeed crystal have both been destroyed. Now there's no way for humanity to flee from Takani Prime if something goes wrong within their galaxy. On the bright side, Zurg also has no way of disrupting time any more than he already has, but that also means Starkman and Zurg are trapped in that galaxy together. Of course, in addition to re-establishing Starkman, Takani Prime is preparing for future conflicts by aligning themselves with other peaceful alien civilizations who surround them, which is why the Galactic Alliance has been formed. Starkman will only grow in numbers as Space Rangers will be welcomed and trained from throughout the Galactic Alliance, and that government will surely become one of the most influential and powerful forces across the galaxy, just like we got to see them become in Buzz Lightyear of Starkman. In that series, there were sentient humanoid aliens everywhere because they were unified under one democracy. That show also had Buzz living on Capital Planet, which was orbited by Star Command's base of operations, so maybe Takani Prime will eventually grow to be a metropolis filled with aliens that will be at the center of the Galactic Alliance. Of course, though, the sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance will continue to loom over them as we got to see in the end credits scene in Lightyear. Even after the destruction of his ship and the hypercrystal, Zurg lives. Now, one of the biggest twists in Lightyear was the fact that Zurg was revealed to be a future version of Buzz Lightyear from another timeline who had traveled into the past in hopes of using the hypercrystal to undo his mistake of crashing the turnip on Takani Prime. I have to be honest, I was kind of upset when it was revealed Zurg was an old man in a robotic suit. When Buzz thought it might be his father, which is a reference to that reveal taking place in Toy Story 2, I thought that was kind of funny, but the whole concept kind of disappointed me at first. I understood that it meant Buzz and Zurg instantly had a personal connection because they both cared for Alicia, and it highlighted Buzz's character flaw of living in the past, but Zurg felt far away from being an evil emperor. At first, I was on the edge of my seat when we first were getting flashes of Zurg, but when we saw a weak, angry, elderly man coming out of his suit who just wanted to change the past and matter, he lost a lot of the intimidation and coolness for me. Zurg didn't feel like a very legitimate threat since we could empathize with his mission, so he didn't feel very evil, and the fact that he stole his army and advanced technology meant that he currently hasn't been shown to be more wise, intelligent, or cunning than Buzz. Sure, he was going to erase Izzy from history by stopping himself from crash landing, but Zurg never actually threatened the real Izzy or the other Space Rangers we got to know, and it didn't seem like Zurg actually wanted to destroy Buzz Lightyear, which was literally his whole focus when he was originally introduced in Toy Story 2.
We meet again, Buzz Lightyear, for the last time.
Not today, Zurg.
So the stakes just didn't feel that high when Zurg's true identity was revealed. Now, the animated series Buzz Lightyear of Starkman did establish a precedent of an evil Buzz Lightyear and an old Buzz Lightyear existing, but they both were independent of one another and Zurg. The evil Buzz was recruited by Zurg from another universe where he successfully had destroyed Starkman, and I actually created a whole breakdown of his character, which I've linked down below.
Ah, but my universe has an opponent who's truly worthy of you.
Impossible.
Oh, really? Does the name Buzz Lightyear mean anything to you?
The old Buzz, though, actually had a similar mission to Zurg and Lightyear, since the old Buzz sent himself into the past in an attempt to save one of Buzz's closest friends on his team, Mira Nova. So the concept of an evil and old Buzz Lightyear is not necessarily a new concept, but having him actually be Zurg was new. Honestly, all of this time travel, Buzz's transformation into Zurg, and all of that history is such a large and rich topic that I think I want to make a whole whole video dedicated to discussing it, so make sure to subscribe to see that video in the future. But for now, I'd like to say that after my second watch of Lightyear, I think this new iteration of Zurg could totally be built into the menacing villain he was believed to be throughout the Toy Story films, if sequels are eventually created. Star Command and the Galactic Alliance are in their earliest days, so I think it's very reasonable to expect that the title of Evil Emperor has yet to be given to Zurg because he hasn't established his empire yet. Maybe the explosion from the hypercrystal damaged Zurg permanently, so now he's bound to the robotic suit, which would symbolize that all of his connections and similarities to Buzz have been destroyed. His humanity might be gone. Maybe his drive to matter is going to shift from saving his beloved friend to taking revenge against Buzz and rising as a dominant leader of the cosmos. Now that we know for sure that he's alive, he could take over a planet, build an army, throw on an epic black cape, and begin raging a never-ending war against the Galactic Alliance. Moving forward, I think it would be very effective to be shown that the greatest evil and greatest good can come from the same places, but it's our choices that will decide if we become villains or heroes. Plus, in Toy Story, we learned that Buzz feared Zurg creating a super weapon capable of destroying entire planets. I think Lightyear was a fun, thoughtful, and exciting adventure, but I also believe it could be a great first chapter for a whole new saga for Buzz Lightyear. There's some reports coming out that are saying Lightyear isn't doing too well at the box office, but Luca connected with people immediately because it was released on Disney+. Encanto only became a cultural phenomenon after it arrived on Disney+. And I have all the faith in the world that when over 130 million people have access to Buzz Lightyear's definitive origin story on Disney+, people are going to watch this adventure. So if I had to bet, I think we'll be seeing Lightyear 2 before we know it. But fun people, let me know what you think of Lightyear down in the comments, along with any questions or ideas you'd like me to discuss in future videos. Consider becoming a producer over on Patreon if you'd like access to our imaginative Discord server and exclusive behind the scenes videos. And of course, thanks for watching and have a magical day.